Yo, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Project Jira Leadership here, and another marathon third marathon episode covering housing. I had to, sorry. The main reason why we're a little bit disheveled right now is because actually, the truth be told, I haven't recorded anything in about a week. And let's move the mic down here a little bit further so I don't have to speak as loud. Yeah, I haven't recorded anything in about a week. And again, of course, you guys watching these videos pre-recorded ahead of time, ahead of schedule, like about what previously was about 2 to 2.5 months ahead. That's how much content I push out there. So you're watching this about 2 to 2. You were watching this, the previous episode, 2 months ahead, and now it's only about a month. Maybe 3 weeks actually, because it's just been that long since I've slowed down pushing out new stuff, largely because there's been so much administrative stuff I had to take care of, so there's just far too much stuff to handle, having to do with like casework. But we'll get all to that. What is all that stuff like casework, like taxes and firms, and it's actually a lot of the similar kinds of responsibilities I had been speaking about in the previous episodes, even though they were probably weeks or months ago. It's the same responsibilities, but there's just a lot more nuance to it, so I could probably detail that if I really wanted to in a future video. Anyways, that being said, for our podcast, as usual, I should probably it's been a while since, so I should probably get down with the intro a little bit. But Project Jira is a place for those without a place to go, a place, safe, secure place, not safe, but secure and stable place to call home, those lacking people to call family. I think that's I'm starting to realize how outdated and irrelevant and necessary that kind of is now that sort of the past 2 generations who grew up in the digital age have sort of grown up already. So they kind of passed all the deeply unsettling, traumatic issues that they had. So it's not really necessary. Maybe this is going to be a reframing of the project. And then it's also, of course, the positive side, of course, that's maybe more relevant already, is slice of life, SOL plus IRL in real life, mashed together to create this kind of virtual and yet authentic reality VR paradox. Where we take care of real life responsibilities like finances and health and fitness and so on and so forth, as well as, fun, imaginative, creative stuff like writing and drawing and animation and stuff like that, and artificial intelligence, learning, stuff like that, and reactions. So also that's another one that's kind of getting outdated now. The whole reaction scene is I never thought I'd see this. But in fact, I thought it might happen. I didn't know when. I thought it might be 5 years in advance, but it's already coming. The end of the reaction game. People don't watch reactions anymore. So again, repivot for me as well now. 2 points I've mentioned. The 2 repivots there, recognizing that the whole recovery and self-improvement thing is that game is out of the window now. So I've gotta wonder, with respect to my project, how relevant that is, whether I should still go on that kind of tangent, especially even if I'm past that stage as well. I'm from that same generation. So, and at the same time, there's also that reaction game. Once again, I'm also myself not watching reactions anymore. So it's a great reflection of basically what I'm doing, other people are also doing. We're all moving on sort of at the same pace together. And also at the same time, whatever industries are not working, whatever content is not working, actually it's not working for me either. It's so funny, but that's actually what's going on. So I've been thinking about what I should do next, and but yeah, let's just keep it real. That's what this is right now. That's the intro. That's a little bit it. And in this particular video, I should mention now, we're going to, since it's been about a week since I did any recordings, and actually several weeks, maybe 3 weeks since I started to slow down the pipeline, because there was just so much getting in the way. Like I spent so much time, so many days, almost like when I was back in post-secondary education in like university, college, when we were, writing those lab reports or articles, and I would be far too perfectionistic. I know people could punch those out in like 3 hours tops.
Melissa loves
I'd
shopping
take
online.
at least like 5 days,
It's her
because I
comfort
was like heavily
zone.
into the writing and
If good
stuff,
things really come in
and
small
the design,
packages,
and the
life is
logical
great.
consistency,
But
all that kind of
lately,
crap.
she's been wondering if her comfort
Anyways,
zone has
so that's that,
gotten
and
a little
that's why it took so
too
long to get
comfortable.
to this point.
It's
And you
AirTransat's
guys
time to
won't,
go
again, you
promo.
won't be able
Visit
to see
airtransat.com and book your
necessarily a
flight to
big
Europe
difference.
starting at
For you guys,
$7.99.
it'll
Restrictions
just be
apply.
one video or one
AirTransat,
podcast after
travel
the
moves
other.
us.
But if you're watching me right now, you'll notice that I look
Looking for a
probably a
way to
little bit more
relax
different. My
after
hair
a
is maybe a
long
little bit
day?
longer, a little bit more disheveled, maybe, or maybe a
Tired
little
of
more
being
clean cut. The
notified
room
by
has definitely
life's
moved
bells
around a
and
bit,
whistles?
and that's actually on point of
Are
what we're
you
gonna cover
ready
in
to
this
stop
video.
working so
So
hard?
I hope to punch
You
out 2
know it's
videos
time
today,
to
2
play.
video podcasts
It's easy
in
to find your
recording.
next favorite game at
First we're going to
bodog.net.
do this
Play
one,
free
which will
casino
cover.
games. Check out our
I wanted to
beginner's
get to
guide
this for a
get
while,
helpful
right?
tips.
So
Visit bodog.net
even more has
today.
changed, and that gives me even more reason to
Make a
cover.
play.
And that's the room. So we have moved out so many things, so many things. In fact, I had 2 buddies come by and a mutual friend and move out all the heavy stuff and the large stuff that I'm not using. And now the only things that are left remaining inside this household right now, inside this like unit right now, are just things that I am going to use that are large or heavy, as well as some small item things, medium-sized things that I can take on my own. However, that have steps that need to be followed through before I do that. So I might detail is that, for example, I'll have to do the laundry before for some of these pieces of clothing before I put in storage. Or say, for example, another one would be garbage. Honestly, it's just fucking garbage. Some food, some wraps, a lot of garbage that I just gonna cover on the video and then throw it away. New purchases, stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cover the room. A second thing on that point is 2 like tangents in addition to the rooms that are related. We will cover the equipment and the gear that we had to wash down so that we can get through the process. But then there's also me wanting to paint cart behind me, and I want to get to that because it's important that we paint it over here. I'm not going to do it to storage. It sounds kind of like different because it sounds not different but counterintuitive, because you would think, why wouldn't you paint it to storage? Obviously, when it comes to the priorities here, whether it's the owners at the storage place or the landlord over here, I think I know which one takes more precedence. So I'm going to paint it over here. I'm going to paint over here because I don't care so much here. And it's a card, right? It's the card that I'm showcasing you. So first, let's just showcase the room. Let's just dive into it. And then the second video I hope to punch out today is later on after this. Hopefully all the garbage they can throw away. Okay, let's go. So what I'm going to do is just turn off the chroma key now for a second and have a little display for a minute. Yeah, let's head over to... Ooh, there's some stuff here I should not be showcasing. And I just realized I can actually pause, once again, pause the video. See, this is what happens when you're rusty, you haven't done any recordings or done a particular activity in a while. You start to forget the mechanics. Hold on, so never mind. I thought I was going to switch scenes to get rid of the chroma key. I just thought I wanted to mention something really quick here that's super interesting for me right now. I'm just realizing that the chroma key actually works even without the green screen. On the side here, there's some green, I guess, on my left. There's absolutely no green screen there. The green screen's over here right now. Or really the makeshift, I should say, green board. And it seems like the backdrop is, in contrast with the ring light, is seemingly, apparently has some tints or shades of green. And then you can see that there's actually that traditional Chinese kind of like calligraphy paint portrait showing on the left-hand side, even though there's no green screen there. Anyways, I thought that was interesting to mention. And then there's all blacked out behind my back there, apparently, because that's just the wall. So we're going to turn off the chroma key so that we can cover everything properly. That's what it's supposed to look like. I can see that, in fact, yeah, it does look like there's some shades of green. So I'm going to be moving the camera a little bit, and I don't know how close I'll be with the mic here, so I'll increase the gain. We're going to also turn this into a dynamic. Perfect. Maybe we increase the gain just a little bit more and sit back a bit more so that it doesn't create all that static. And let's get to it. So we have some stuff. I'm gonna put on my pants for a bit. By the way, this jacket's supposed to be worn outdoors, but I haven't done the laundry. No, I haven't taken a shower. I'm taking the laundry, which I need to do, both of them. So that's why I'm wearing the jacket right now, because I don't actually have another top. It's pretty crazy. So let's take the camera here. And okay, first of all, I'm gonna showcase you. So the green board screen there, it's kind of blocking the way now from the door. And the reason for that is mostly because the shelf is gone. If I can just decrease the gain for a bit here and go, I'll be covering, at least for the next 5 minutes, I think, a good synopsis by sitting down, so it should be fine. But basically on that side, the shelving is gone. I'm just gonna go grab it. Right, there we go. So we can see the door now. And I believe so, yeah, you can see the door now. So right before the door, right, you can see it's totally empty. Before we had the entire shelf. Yeah, on the shelf was books and clothing, as I mentioned. That was region F. I've mentioned that before in previous videos. Scattered across. And there was region E, which had a massive like storage box with like toys and artifacts and old stuff. And then there's like crates of boxes on top, and as well as luggage bags and safety boots, as well as equipment and clothing, all on the shelf. So it's like regions and areas E1 through H, F1 through H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's entirely gone. Like almost all of it is gone. If there's any clothing remaining, it's only the gear. And the gear now, also in addition to E and F, there's also region D here, I believe. Not D. It's like something in between. And that's mostly for stuff that should be donated. So it should actually be region D splintered in two. Moving the camera here, you can see it. That's where I'm now placing whatever equipment I usually use actually already goes here anyways. But whatever remaining equipment that was over there that I still use, I also moved here to region D. So we're just trying to get the position of the camera right. I'm not a very good cameraman. And then if we tip over to the side here, and you can see the garbage and stuff like that and whatnot. But try to move away from the ring light. Look right. You can see that the wall is also already by that corner over there is completely dead empty over there. Not sure I'm covering right. Yeah, there's supposed to be basically a very large section over there with toiletries and toothpaste and all that stuff, as well as some storage from coursework and an old laptop stacked on top of each other with at least 2 crates, just like over here in region E. That there was like 2 large black bags of books and textbooks and courseware and paperwork from college and university, and it's all gone now. So it's all packed up, and that I think that's like region, I don't know, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh, it's a new region for sure. It's like H, I don't know, H, I. Anyways, they're all gone. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that's on the kind of left. My right is your right. The same. So that's mostly emptied. There's still more stuff there that we'll consider. Over there, for example, where the toiletries are now, is the laundry basket. Move it over from the left to the right. That's also where I'm putting the socks now, which just used to be on the shelf. There's also some fitness equipment here, which is really just textbooks that we actually use for lifting, and then some books for reading. some remaining books that we actually may use. And then, on a very, I know it's in the way right now, but the green screen stand, of course, behind it, there's actually in that really corner, small corner, no, this side, you can see it better now. There's like a Febreze little thing there with where my finger's pointing. And there's some toiletries there. That's basically what toiletries that I'm going to use so far. So it's just a few tubes of toothpaste and some disinfectant and floss. It's just like on a black container on a floor. And of course, we can't mention, of course, there's the screen and the green, I call it green screen, but it's more like a green board. Like I said, makeshift. We just use Dollarama. And went to Dollarama and the dollar store and bought a few Bristol boards and put them together. You can see that we actually got the bottom right hand side attached now. And the only side that's empty is that side over there, which is not really all that important, honestly. Because right now we've been focusing on a lot of, you could say, real world responsibilities, right? Anyways, so that's all. That's this entire thing here. It's still standing there. And the most important thing is we keep it by the door. And why is that? Well, for example, we do that so that it kind of blocks out anyone who's coming in. We open the door sometimes, very rarely now. Usually lock the door for security purposes, but we lock it. And but if anyone comes in, we want to block it. We don't want them to see that we've moved everything out, right? It's just a source of more drama. And I'd rather, my life is completely drama-free now. It feels so good to be free of all that drama and bullshit nonsense. And I want to maintain it that way. So that's what we're going to do. I think that's fairly reasonable. And hold on, for the purposes of this video, we'll move that back. And you know what, maybe I should increase the gain a little bit. All right, perfect. So what you can see now is, let's see where the camera's pointing. I should probably stay on the opposite side now. I'm going to shift the chair around. Hopefully the chair's not blocking it way too much. In fact, it is. Okay. You know what? Okay, let's cover what we have to cover for the closet first. And I recognize that I thought I was going to be moving around the room. I'm not going to do that. It's just too difficult. We're 18 minutes in already. Great, that's nuts. So over there, you can see directly in front of the closet, there's this black bag. No, it's not black bag. What it is it's the cart. And I moved it out away from the closet so you can see. The blue bag, it's not black, is something we want to paint. So what I have down here is we purchased from the dollar store a few paintbrushes, and we put it in storage, and we painted the wheels. So if you can't tell, the wheels on that trolley cart, they are now black. They're supposed to be white. It's just steel with white paint, and I painted over the white paint by default during the purchase. About a week afterwards, I used this acrylic paint here, and I painted it all black. And we want to now do the bag as well. So use acrylic paint from Dollarama. It's a brand Deco Art acrylic paint, black noir. Has directions, so use this value price matte finish acrylic paint to paint general craft and home decor projects. Directions: shake well, apply with brush or sponge, water-based and permanent. Water-based, permanent, fast drying. Make sure I don't get this on my hands if it says permanent. And intermixable. Soap and water will clean it up. Okay. And then we have all these toothbrushes. Toothbrushes. We have all these paint brushes here. bag's broken now. I can't use it anymore, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 bristles have kind of been messed up with because they were inside the luggage bag and they kind of messed up a little bit. But you have these like fine paint brushes for artists, and we have these acrylic, these kind of like painters paint brushes. So 1.5 inch, that kind of stuff, 2 inches, just kind of give a wide, and then these ones here are more refined in comparison, right? So fine and refined. So the artists as well as painters paintbrushes. So we will decide to paint that most likely before we leave today. We're going to try to paint at least one side, and to do that we have to make sure that we do cover the floor, because there's a hardwood floor. We're going to take some plastic from down there, right here. I can't believe we're going to actually use this, but it's from that Wendy's stuff, or it's that we thought we was going to throw into garbage by now at this point, but we can actually use that to collect any of the paint that drips off. So ironically, we may have that stay. There's actually more plastic bags here, more plastic, like plastic, not bags, but warehouse plastic wrap that we can use to capture any paint drops. Ugh. Shit in my throat. So I'm gonna put the paint down. Most likely we'll put the paint behind us right here on the office desk. But before we can do that, we need to punch up the second podcast video, which covers all the trash and garbage here. I think we might just do that now. Okay, before we do that, what we'll do is cover the closet. So speaking about the trolley car that we're going to paint, we've taken the bag out, we've contracted it, and then we placed the bag on top, so that the mechanics are that, if the paint's going to dry, we need to have the bottom up. We also have to wash top, the bottom of the, wipe it down in case there's any dirt. There has to be dirt and stuff like that, and grime from all the movement that we've been doing. We've been moving for 3 weeks now. So we're gonna wipe off the dirt, and then we're gonna apply the paint. Okay? So we got it upside down so they can dry, and so we contract the part upside down. Now behind it is the closet region. I would say the closet region, yeah, we've done quite a bit of work. So on the right hand side there, that you can see, the decorative cart crate is gone. We also have some of the clothing there. Oh, the blankets are gone. So the blankets or the pillow inside a black plastic bag. So one bag of blankets, one crate of decorative equipment and gifts that we received from volunteering and stuff like that at hospital and seniors home. And then we have at the very top all the products for these unhealth supplements are all gone as well. We moved that all out. But then the rest of the stuff there, or the clothing that's hanging on those clothes hangers right now, we're still going to use. That's why they're still here, right? I notice we only have a minute and a half left. Let me move that. You can see that there's also a security camera there. I mean, security light, not security light, but more like a light that shines when it's a motion sensor light. So that's something we're always going to leave there. There's also a fake cam there that's actually functional as well. If I move this to the side, the last thing I think I can cover on this video, and it's very difficult to do it apparently because of the mic being in the way. Okay, so we're gonna lift the mic up, and I'm gonna try to stand up. Okay, there we go. So you can see last thing to cover, I just moved the closet region to the other side, open the door a little bit. You can see over there, it's pretty much empty. Okay, so over there used to be a lot of winter clothing, and then there's also the bag like a packaging bag for the bed that we shifted over to the right. So everything that we have left is moved over to the right hand side. We're trying to keep it all kind of compact. Over there, that's not as easily accessible, is now completely empty, except for that black bag at the top. And if you're wondering what that is, it's just clothing. It's winter clothing that should be put to storage, but we can't put it away yet. Once again, here's the step-by-step process, right? So now I can kind of bring the mic down. The process is, of course, even on this side, if I can switch over for a minute, over onto the right-hand side, and we have to cover this in the second video because there's not enough time. It's already 25 minutes long. There's clothing here that as we position everything as well. But there's clothing here that needs to be washed. It's mostly winter clothing. So stuff that goes outdoors that we don't need to wear anymore because it was 25 degrees, 30 degrees humid a couple days ago. So we gotta wash all that stuff. And then one of the jackets there, as well as a scarf, we're supposed to put inside that bag over there, which you can't see with the mic anymore, but you can see it now. So we'll take the bag down from the top and then put the laundry washed jacket, winter jacket inside, and then we'll seal it. And then after that, by that point, it should be 2 days later, the paint here on that card should be dry, and we can actually use the painted card as well as the washed jacket inside the laundry and chuck it over to the storage unit. So you can see how everything's like a step-by-step process, and all this takes time and takes effort, it takes work, right? So this is why I have not been, when I say that from the very beginning of this video, it's been a good week since I've done any sort of recording. That's mostly what it is, including a lot of like formal stuff with the government, casework, writing articles back and forth, income tax, like different firms, and then a lot of troubleshooting on that point when it comes to Excel spreadsheets and business expenses. Okay, so it's a lot, and there's a lot more other stuff as well. But that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. It's just too much. Again, if there's anything relatable for you, you guys have moved out or anything of that sort, chime in the comments on YouTube. I'm kind of more well aware now that on Spotify or as a podcast, you can't really leave comments. That's a shame. But there's other ways to do it. It's not just Spotify. I have my podcasts in at least like 30 to 35, probably 40 different platforms at this point. So leave your comments, leave your thoughts, and I'll get back to you. Okay? Are you guys moving? Do you have a family? Do you plan on purchasing a new place? Do you have a mortgage running? So let me know. That's it. I'm signing out. I'll see you guys in the next one, which is going to cover, I think, a lot of garbage, as well as what's remaining on the right-hand side. Left-hand side. All right. Thanks, guys. Peace out. See you next one.